Hello and welcome to another episode of Tommy's Trains, and I'm kind of excited today. And believe it or not, some of these things actually came from Goodwill, and it's like the opportunity of a lifetime. Fortunately, we go to Goodwill quite a bit, so ran into some cool stuff. And the first thing I want to show you is this John Deere train set. We're going to see if this works. We'll put this down. Now this goes with the Fast Track, and it's also Lionchief, so this doesn't work on conventional. I mean, it'll run on the conventional track, but you have to have the Lionchief, which is completely powered differently. The way the Lionchief is, it's almost like it's got neutral power on the track all the time, and then you use the remote. So we've got operating couplers, both ends. We got lights. It looks like maybe directional lighting. We'll find out. Now this whole shell is plastic. Not surprising. This is supposed to have sounds, so the tower comm and crew talk. And I can see that it's only 4-wheel drive, so we got a dead truck here in the back. Hopefully the weight balance is right and that it'll pull okay. Traction tires are still on it, so looks pretty good. I'll give that a try. This is just a standard, nothing runs like a Deere railroad car, and this is all plastic. It feels like the brake wheel's metal. The trucks and wheels are metal, operating couplers, but everything here is all plastic. So it doesn't weigh a whole lot. And I'll probably put this one up for sale on eBay almost immediately. The second was we got a pair of John Deere tractors, and these look like just plain old ones you'd get at Tractor Supply. They don't have a number on them, so they're like a 44, 55 or something, like a 55 series with the splash guards on the front, probably mechanical front wheel drive on it. Car is plastic, held on with these black rubber bands. The brake wheel's metal, it's on there. Operating couplers, metal trucks, metal wheels. So we'll probably keep this one, but I don't need the box car. We'll probably send that one down the road. And then we've got, looks like it's a lighted caboose. There's pickups on it, but we're missing the smokestack, and you can get those online for $4 or $5. So I don't need two of these cabooses. I have another one that's pretty similar. So, we'll probably sell off one of those. Regular flat car, and this is a Lionel built in 1970. I would say that's probably the beginning of Lionel's dark days, and everything was super cheap. We've got metal trucks, metal wheels, operating coupler on one side, and we've got just a dead coupler on the other side. And the wheel sets are kind of different. These are more filled in, and these ones are really hollowed out. So this car is really light. But my plan is, well, I'm going to save that, but I've got a plan for these, so you'll have to wait. And again, we've got another, just a Lionel. Looks like a 1970 Lionel car, and we've got some corrosion on the wheels. Same type of wheels. We can clean those wheels up and make it okay. Operating coupler on one end only. So I'm guessing maybe that was the thing back then. I wasn't born yet in 1970, so looks like one end only uncouples. And I guess that's all you need if your train's set up right. You set the operating coupler on opposing ends. And then you get a coupler here and a coupler there, so you'd have a coupler there. So I guess it works. Now this train set didn't come with the power supply, which is basically the plug-in to the rails. Fortunately, I had a couple of those. It also didn't come with a Lionchief remote, but I had this universal one here. And the reason I like this one is because it allows you to run 3 trains separately. So it's pretty easy to set this up, and you go ahead and check out some of my other Lionel videos, like the Polar Express or the Penn Central. The Pennsylvania Railroad train set, and I'll show you how. So, what else we have? We've got Boston, Maine, 8654 GP9. Came with a box. This one's got traction tires on one side. They look like they're a little bit worn. And I went ahead and cleaned this up, so we're going to try it after I've cleaned it. Dead truck on the back, although the whole pilot is metal. Operating couplers on it. See the horn. Got some scuffing on it, but these are pretty old. I don't know when these came out, and it doesn't really say. but it does have directional control on it, and it was made in Michigan, so probably in the 1970s, I'm guessing. And then here's the dummy, 8655, so I've got 54 and 55, and this one's got all just dead trucks on it, operating couplers, and it doesn't have any lighting on it. For the Bicentennial, they came out with this Bicentennial train. This is Bangor and Aroostook, so Bangor and Aroostook is a Maine railroad, or it was. They've gone out of business. And by Jeremiah O'Brien, Spirit of 1776, specially decorated. Now the Maine Central, they had a bunch of U-18Bs that they had specially. They had gotten them not too long before the Bicentennial, and then they painted them up, and they had like famous Revolutionary War people on it, like Peleg Wadsworth and some other things. I don't think Benedict Arnold was one of them. Here we've got, this is a little bit different. This one's not one that you see a lot, and I'll show you what's cool about this one. Is it looks like the regular Bangor and Aroostook Railroad State of Maine car, but it's not. It is New Haven, New York, New Haven, and Hartford. So they also trucked Maine potatoes. We've got metal trucks on it, metal wheels, operating couplers on both ends, and this was built in 1995. So this was probably a reproduction, guessing. But it's a good solid car. So we'll throw that on and try that one out. We've got another one of these locomotives here in the box, and this one's pretty well shot. We'll try these on the table up here. So what we've got here is another 8654, which is like the first one I showed you. A little bit better shape. I think the pilot's broken on one of these. This one. So this one here, the front pilot's broken. I do have another pilot, but this one's in a really nice shape, nice and clean, and I did clean up the pickups and the wheels. So we'll try that one out as well. So and then finally, the last couple things we have. This was built in 1947, so this is a post-war Lionel refrigerated milk car, so it's an operating car, and there's nothing plastic on this. The doors are like this primitive plastic that they came out with, but it is really heavy. Everything is metal on it. It's missing the brake wheel, but I think we'll try that out. And then finally, the last item we have is one that's kind of cool, kind of hard to find, especially, well, it's not hard to find a dump car, but it's hard to find a Maine Central one. So I'm really excited to try this out. I'm not real sure what that is right off the top of my head. Maybe there's instructions in this. So here's the dump tray. Here's your warranty, your instructions, and a list of service stations, 1993, 1994. So coal, log, dump car, both pretty much the same principle as far as they work. It's like they just went out back and cut down some bushes, and so that's what you get. The logs, they're real wood and kind of cool. So we'll try that out. So what this is a manumatic uncoupler. So this just goes under a regular track. This would have to be a 3-rail. You don't see these 3 rails much anymore, but if you don't have an operating section, you put this manumatic underneath the rails in between, and then you just push this plunger down and it will activate the car. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so ballyhoo, really nice train, and check out my video on the ballyhoo. So I think the first train we'll try is this 8654 B&M GP9, and this is the non-broken one. So this is the cleanest one of the two. It looks really nice, and I don't think it has directional lighting. It probably just has one light bulb in it. So we'll put this on the tracks. These didn't have a horn or anything. Usually the horn was a separate item that was on a building or something, or you might have had a car that ran it. And that noise right there is the sound of the electric motor. So forward works. Reverse. Alright, so 8654, which I call the good one, is the good one. Let's reach over and try Jeremiah O'Brien. These are really heavy trains. These are all metal. These rails are all metal. I mean, this is plastic, but the new trains, like this one here, even the rails are plastic, but so everything is super heavy. The drivers are here in front, and I really feel like if you got more than a couple cars, you want to run it long nose first. Otherwise, you run like a front wheel drive and you're pulling instead of pushing, and it just seems to work, in my opinion, a little bit better. Alright, so we're going good there. Let's try reverse. Now with these sets, you can just hit the reverse button. So I'd say Jeremiah runs pretty good, and it smells like a electric motor from the 70s. Here's my dummy, and we'll put that on first. We'll run that one. We'll try running this one cab forward, and then we'll take the powered one. We'll run it long nose forward or hood forward. It depends on how you want to say it. So we got no lights on here, so you may want to reverse this and have the dummy here, pushing that dummy around. Especially when you've only got 4-wheel drive, and you can see it spinning here. So yeah, this runs really well, and in spite of a couple scuffs and a broken pilot, which I have another pilot, it's just kind of a pain to fix it. So I may sell this one and put it in the crappier box, but I'm going to wait till Christmas when the prices are at a premium. They're not very good right now, so we'll hang on to this stuff for a little bit. So, I mean, fortunately these trains all worked. I got these, basically I picked them off the shelf. There was no way to test them, so I'm pretty happy with that. And check out my other video on the 464 Hudson for the Ballyhoo. This is a really sweet train, and I really like this one a lot. This is probably, the Pacifics and the Hudsons are my favorite trains. I just think they're really just a beautiful train to look at. It's like everything is proportional, it looks right. It's just a nice train. Super heavy. So we'll go down here and look at the Lionchief. With this guy, I'll go down and set the cars up, and I'll put the milk car and the dump car on, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at that train. Alright, it's pretty loud, but you can hear that it's working, and right there is where it plugs into the wall. So there's a pilot light that runs on that track section. So the shift on here is your voice announcements.
Dispatcher here, please hold for track orders, over. Roger, bring the line control, out. Dispatcher here, you're cleared off the main. Roger that, cleared outbound.
So there's forward lighting, and it looks like it's directional. You see the back light there going on, and then when I go to neutral, it goes off. So I'd say it worked out pretty well with the Goodwill train set, the John Deere one. I got a couple parts that I think I'm going to sell off, and I'll wait till Christmas time when they're worth more. And I got some other stuff that I'll unload around that same time. So I think I made out pretty well at Goodwill. Got some extra track and some other stuff, and it all seems to work pretty good. Even though there was no way to test it, I took a gamble because a lot of stuff was missing. But with stuff I've got and stuff I can pick up, I can make it complete, and then I think I've got a good set that I can turn around and make a couple bucks on. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.